Hi, this is Dan Smith of DPS Legal Counsel. Welcome to today's episode of Einstein's Theory of Taxability, where I discuss federal tax issues of interest to small businesses, entrepreneurs, and health professionals. And so today I'm going to talk about a topic of interest to people who are looking to save some money on their taxes by donating appreciated property to charity. So here's an example. Let's say that you own a piece of land, farmland, undeveloped land that you've had for a while, a number of years, and you bought it cheap, or maybe you even inherited it, and now it is extremely valuable, and you want to donate it to charity, and you want to get a charitable donation deduction for your tax return. So what do you need to do? Well, the key thing you need to do is to make sure that you get a qualified appraisal of the value of the property that you're donating before the due date of your tax return, on which you're going to claim the charitable deduction for the gift. And so when you file your tax return, you need to include with Form 8283 a copy of your qualified appraisal. And the appraisal has to be obtained before the due date of your return. You can't file the return, claim the deduction, and then later get your qualified appraisal. You need to have the qualified appraisal before the due date of your return. File a copy of the appraisal with your return and with Form 8283 in order to get the charitable deduction. Now, the charitable deduction, it can be of great value to you in this case because, number one, you may have property that you either paid very little for or inherited and has gone up in value by a large extent. And so you're going to get a deduction for the fair market value of that property. So if you paid $1,000 for a piece of property and it's now worth $10,000, you're going to get that $10,000 deduction, but you have to have the appraisal. The other good thing about donating property in kind or non-cash property to charity is if you were to sell that property and its basis for tax purposes was $1,000 and you sold it for $10,000 and then wanted to donate the $10,000 to charity, the problem you have is that you're going to have to pay taxes on the difference between the basis in your property, the $1,000, and the fair market value that you sell it at, or $10,000. You're going to pay taxes, income taxes, on that $9,000 worth of gain. If, on the other hand, you donate appreciated property in kind to a charity, that gain that has never been recognized during your ownership of the property, that $9,000 of unrecognized gain, when you make that donation to charity, that $9,000 of gain is never going to get taxed to you. So you get to not only escape the federal income taxation of that appreciation when you make a gift to charity, but you get a gift. A charitable deduction on the gift that's equal to the fair market value. Again, the only caveat is you have to get your ducks in a row before you file your return, before the due date of your return, including extensions. You have to have the qualified appraisal in hand. Now, the appraisal, in order to qualify, has to meet certain requirements that are set forth in the Treasury regulations. It needs to describe the property, the appraiser's resume or his all his things that make his qualifications have to be set forth on the appraisal. The basis of the appraisal has to be set forth. There are a number of things, those and some others, that have to be part of that qualified appraisal. Again, look at the Treasury regulations or talk to your tax advisor, tax attorney, tax accountant to make sure that the qualified appraisal is in good order. Make sure you have it in hand before the due date of your return. Attach it, fill out your Form 8283 that goes with your tax return, and enjoy your charitable deduction. That's it for today. on Einstein's theory of taxability. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions or want to discuss a tax matter with me, you can find my contact information on my website, dpslegalcounsel.com. Sign up for an email newsletter where you'll get updated tips and developments in the law sent directly to you on a regular basis. You won't miss things. Sign up for one of the podcasts. Subscribe to one of the podcasts that I do. This podcast, for example, on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Let me know if I can be of any help, and we'll see you next time on Einstein's Theory of Taxability.